Costa Rica and Panama were formed millions of years ago when the volcanoes erupted under the waters between the Americas, forming a sort of bridge covered in luxuriant vegetation. The Isthmus of Panama. This natural land bridge, crossed by mountains and rivers, shelters an amazingly rich biodiversity. Men from the Mayan world to the north and the Incan to the south lived there in peace until Christopher Columbus arrived. Riches stolen from pre-Columbian empires were transported across the isthmus and loaded onto galleons sailing from Spain. With conquest came the massacre of the Amerindians, who today make up only a small percentage of the population. A few tribes like the Chocoes, peaceful nature lovers, have preserved the heritage and the spirit of their ancestors. In 1948, Costa Rica abolished its army and started setting up natural parks. Today, 25% of its territory is protected, a world record. Ecotourism is the country's principal activity today. Costa Rica's biodiversity also attracts the pharmaceutical industry, which extracts the essences of the country's 10,000 listed plants to create the remedies of tomorrow. The supreme symbol, the quetzal, the sacred bird of the Mayas, is extinct in Central America, except in Costa Rica, where it flies freely over virgin forest.
Here's where things get a little tricky, because Costa Rica is one of those countries that interchangeably uses both the official and simplified variant of their flags. The simplified version does not have a coat of arms and is just a banner with 5 bands. 2 blue bands, one on top, one on the bottom, 2 whites under the blues, and a double width band of red in the center. Side note, do not get the simplified version of the flag confused with the flag of Thailand. If we were to include the coat of arms is a golden frame containing an illustrated veneer with 2 banners above it saying America Central and the República de Costa Rica. You don't need to speak Spanish to know what those mean. The image contains 7 stars in the sky representing the 7 provinces. Below are 3 volcanoes with cute puffs of smoke coming out of them representing the 3 mountain chains of the country. Engulfing the volcanoes are oceans on either side indicating the bi-coastal position of the country, with merchant ships that even have miniature Costa Rican flags, making Costa Rica once again one of the only few countries with a flag of their flag in their flag.
Executive powers exercised by the President, his, her 2 vice presidents and his, her cabinet. The executive branch is made up of the President of the Republic, who is elected every 4 years through a general election. The presidency is won by popular vote in Costa Rica's multi-party system. The President is both the chief of state and the head of government. The vice presidents and cabinet members are appointed by the President. The unicameral Legislative Assembly or Assembly Legislativa holds 57 seats. Members are elected by direct popular vote to serve 4-year terms. The legislature has 2 ordinary sessions, May 1st to July 31st and September 1st to November 30th. The Legislative Assembly has more power in Costa Rica than in other Central American countries. The legislative commissions are composed of 6 permanent commissions which are responsible for evaluating proposed laws. The 6 commissions are Agriculture and Natural Resources, Economic Affairs, Government and Administration, Budgeting and Taxation, Judicial Affairs, and Social Affairs. The legal system in Costa Rica is based on the Spanish civil system and is independent from the executive and legislative branches. There are 3 levels of courts: district, appellate and supreme. There is judicial review of the legislative acts. The administrative rules for the judicial branch are set forth in the Ley Orgánica del Poder Judicial. Judicial power is exercised by the Supreme Court of Justice. The court is composed of 22 Supreme Court magistrates or justices who are selected for renewable 8-year terms by the Legislative Assembly and subsidiary courts. Judges may be re-elected and can stay in their position for life. The Supreme Court is comprised of 4 chambers. 1. Commercial and Civil Law, Sala I, is presided over by 7 magistrates and has jurisdiction over all civil and administrative matters. 2. Administrative and Labor Law, Sala II, is presided over by 5 magistrates and has appellate jurisdiction over civil matters including family law, estates, and labor law. 3. Criminal law. Sala 3, is presided over by 5 magistrates and only hears criminal appeals. 4. Constitutional law. Sala 4, has exclusive jurisdiction over all constitutional matters. Voter requirements. 1. 18 years old. 2. Costa Rican citizenship. Naturalized citizens can only vote 12 months after acquiring that status. 3. Residence in the country.